Thought for the day, here's the deal. You know, a lot of times when I give talks or I visit different cities or you talk to reporters or people afterwards and they always say the same thing. Well, of course, kids join gangs because they just want to belong. And, you know, yeah, belonging is sort of an issue, but, you know, part of the idea is people insist that there has to be something positive in a gang that lures, draws, attracts, that pulls you into it. And of course, anybody who's ever heard me yak on this knows that I don't agree with that. I think no kid is ever seeking anything when he joins a gang, always fleeing something, no exceptions. I've never met an exception in 30 years. But sometimes people will say, well, I'm the exception, you know, and I'll say, well, no, actually, probably, you're a stranger to yourself. So if you do the work on yourself, you go, oh, okay, now I see it. Because no hopeful kid is going to join a gang. But it raises the issues about belonging. You know, belonging is a good thing. But you want to measure and check. Are you belonging to a fake community or to the real deal, authentic community? And how do you know if it's the real deal or not? Well, here's the measure. Does your belonging end in becoming? That's the whole measure. If it ends in becoming, then you're part of something that's real, genuine, authentic. I think this place is a real deal, authentic community because people end, their belonging ends in becoming the truth of who they are. They inhabit that truth, that they are exactly what God had in mind when God made them. That becoming is the discovery of the real self in love. Not just being loved and accepted, but in loving and in accepting. That's becoming. That's what happens in a real community. But in a fake community, then you get stuck in a disguise. You know, so a homie who says, I was the downest vato for my neighborhood. And then he says to me, yeah, I was disguised as that guy. And that's the truth. You don't want to be, if you're stuck in that disguise, then you're belonging to a community that's fake. So my example is, I've heard of this or read of this before. I was at a probation camp Page actually, and afterwards I was talking to homies and they were kind of lining up to see me, and I'm sitting on a bench out in the middle of this field. And I finished with one guy, and they want blessings mainly and talk a little bit. Well, this guy's walking to me, and oh my God, he's all chinglong and overdriving all bad. And I go, oh boy, here we come. And so he sits down, I shake his hand, I said, hi, I'm Father Greg, what's your name? He goes, Sniper. I go, trust me when I tell you, you did not pop out of your mom. She did not take one look at you and name your ass Sniper. What's your name? He kind of makes a face and he goes, Gonzalez. I go, son, I know the staff here wants to call you by your last name. I'm not with it. Okay, here's what I'm looking for. What does your mom call you? And without missing a beat, he says, cabron. No cabe duda mi cabroncito, but here's the deal. Here's what I'm looking for. Birth certificate, dog. I'm looking for birth certificate. What is typed under first name on your birth certificate? So he kind of gets quiet and Napoleon. Wow, Napoleon. I mean, that's, wow, you don't hear that every day. You know, Napoleon Bonaparte and Napoleon Dynamite. You don't really hear that every day, but I still don't believe she calls you the whole nine yardas. So does she call you some shorter version of that? And then he goes to the place. I watch him as he becomes sort of quiet in his age, his real age this time. And he gets quiet, I have to lean in and listen. He says, sometimes when my mom's not mad at me, she calls me Napito. Well, there you have it. That's what's becoming. That's the sound of becoming. From Sniper to Gonzalez to Cabron to Napoleon to finally the name his mom calls him when she's not pissed off at him. Belonging in a fake community forces you to be stuck at Sniper, stuck in your disguise. But belonging to this place leads you to becoming the truth of who you are, exactly what God had in mind. And you discover in this place, if we all cooperate, you discover your true self in loving and in accepting each other. Let's try to do that today.